Welcome everybody to ESL Pro League, the last regular season day that we have, and it is going to be a crazy one. You can see it's a little different. It's just going to be me and Chad today. We're going to man down the fort here on the analyst desk. All the casters will be taken up. We're going to have simultaneous matches going on to close this out. I think there's about 4 of them, 5?
Something ridiculous. Every match is being covered.
It's all being played at the same exact time so that no tomfoolery can occur, as 7 teams are vying for 4 playoff spots in total that are remaining over in the European division. And there's 5 teams fighting to avoid relegation.
Yeah, I think you did that right.
I think I did that right as well. The numbers, we've been crunching a lot of numbers today.
Doing the maths, I think it was, what is it, 35 different possibilities of how things could work out.
And it all depends on not only who wins, but also who loses and how many they lose. And obviously seeding is in there as well. Seeding going to be massively important going into Dallas. But yeah, this is just wacky. Let's just get right into it. Let's take a look at the standings. We're going to start over in North America because they've got a battle going on. SK and Immortals already qualified. I don't think the seeding is locked in quite yet. Team Liquid beat Cloud9 on 2 maps last night, so that's a big win for them in terms of securing a playoff spot. But still, you look at that top 6, Optic still has a chance, Misfit still has a chance, and I think even CLG has an outside chance.
I think SK are 100% the #1 seed, right? Because there's only 2 matches left. Immortals, even if they win 2, cannot catch that 18-win record. So SK are the #1 team from the NA division, as you would expect.
Yep.
But yeah, the outsiders, as you're saying, if Optic can get up their Luminosity, we could have 3 Brazilian teams going to the playoffs, which would just be absolutely insane.
Yeah, that would be insane. That would be hard to swallow if you're a North American fan. You can see down at the bottom, Animal Squad, they have kind of broken up as a team, so they have forfeited. You can see their 0-0. Their matches just really do not count towards the overall standings anymore. The Foundation might as well be a dead team if you can see that, 1-23, and then Rush there as well, 2-20. I mean, that's an abysmal bottom 3 of this league, far and away the 3 worst.
So they'll be playing off against, I think it's B's Money Crew, they're Ghost now, and the other one is... No, Splice are automatically in next season. Ooh. It's something 6, Enigma 6.
Sure, yeah, that sounds
with Whitmer
about right.
and all those guys.
Sounds
so
right.
yeah,
I haven't actually followed the.
I watch all Counter-Strike, so I'm on top of everything.
Yeah, do you? Mm-hmm. That's a lot of time. How do you have all the time?
I don't sleep.
Don't sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had a lot of that this week. Let's check out the European standings. These are the matches that we're going to be seeing tonight. These are the standings that really matter for the games that you'll be watching on this stream. North already in, Mousesports as well. Their seeding is definitely not locked in. As you can see, Mousesports only 1 game behind. So we'll see how those guys play out. G2 and FaZe are going to face off in a game. That's a huge, huge game. I believe we're calling that the Bay Area Burrito Hot Match of the Week.
Yeah, just because they give us discounts. So
yeah, that's not
thanks
bad.
to them.
Thank you, Bay Area Burrito. Astralis and Navi are going to round out that top 6, but also we have Fnatic, Envy. They're both playing. Heroic is playing. So I mean, a lot of chances for teams to break into the top 6 still.
Those 7 teams, FaZe, Astralis, Navi, Fnatic, Team Envious, and Heroic, all have a mathematical chance of potentially qualifying for the playoffs if one of those 35 different possibilities happens for whichever team you're supporting.
Yeah, which is just wacky to think about. And then you look at the bottom, there's actually another match going on that doesn't have anything to do really with playoffs, as Virtus Pro is going to be taking on North. And obviously North is already qualified. Virtus Pro has no chance of making the playoffs, but what they can happen, if VP wins 2-0, they can leapfrog a bunch of teams to not have to play in the relegation matches, which for them, in the way that they've looked recently, that would be a very, very, very good thing.
Yeah, I think that also depends on the Hellraisers versus NIP game going 2-0 to either party, if I remember rightly. There's just so much stuff going on right now. It's difficult to remember every combination.
It is weird.
You almost swore, didn't you, Jason?
I did. I almost dropped it, didn't I? Woo! That's how you know this day is going to start off well. Well, to show you the matches, we talked a lot about all the different games we have going on. We'll bring them up on the screen. We'll show you guys what you can see across a couple different streams that we'll have going on. LDLC and Kingwin going on. And you can see this is all at the same time, 21 CEST, 2210 CEST for the second map of both of these series. So LDLC taking on Kingwin, and then I just forgot everything because I didn't read all the way down.
That's fine. We'll just get these ones.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Mousesports, Fnatic, Hellraisers, NIP, and Astralis Envy are all going to be playing. Also, as we mentioned, we have G2 FaZe. There was another one I missed. Navi is taking on
Heroic, which is an important game as well. So I think Fnatic need to 2-0 Mouse to have any chance of qualifying, same as the Envious game over Astralis. Astralis, I think, need 1 game. There's just, a lot of different bits and pieces there. The Navi game, Heroic also needed 2-0, while Navi could maybe get away with a 1-1, but a 2-0 would probably secure them in. I could go on like this for hours.
Yeah, there's a lot of different ways. I don't think you could go on for hours because I don't think we have it all mapped out. We don't know everything that can possibly happen depending on who wins. It's just difficult. You've been talking about this all season. This is like your favorite. This is your favorite day of the season, isn't it?
No, okay. So last season it was the last week, and then it slowly every day you could see not exactly, but you could see a few different possibilities of how it was going to pan out.
Right.
This is actually madness right now. The fact that there's all these different possibilities and it's come down to the last day to decide 4 spots, and then we still only have 1 team locked into the auto relegation, and we still have 2 more vying for the relegation playoff position. Nothing's clear. Yeah. And we've had 10 weeks of this, and we still don't know who's the top dogs, I guess.
It's kind of cool thinking that the players also have no idea. They're just saying in their heads, we just need to win.
Need to win, yeah. That's the best mentality, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, need the W.
Need the W. Well, we mentioned we're going to have a couple streams going on. This one is going to be showing G2 versus FaZe. We're also going to be doing a little bit of, how do we call it, conference coverage.
Yeah, roaming coverage.
Yeah, roaming coverage. We're going to have Mitch and Lauren with us. They're going to explain a little bit what they're going to be doing throughout the evening.
Manzi, what's going on?
Oh, wow.
This is okay.
That's the opposite of hot mic. So what Mitch is kind of saying here is, guys, what's going on with the mic?
Oh.
Now we've got
it. There we go. It's nothing like a conference without audio. Exactly.
Well, we've definitely got this nailed down. Yeah, basically, of course, there's like 7 simultaneous matches going on, I think, at any one time. So we can't really cover any of them in their entirety. No. But what we'll try and do is jump across between them. There's a few interesting ones. Like VP needs to 2-0 North to get out of relegation stuff. So we want to see this.
Yeah, of course. And, you know, we're going to have the admins like diving into us and kind of letting us know what's now, you know, viable, what's not. So we'll be keeping you guys up to date throughout the entirety of this, and then the analysis desk will kind of, I guess, smooth everything together and bring it all out. We're just kind of like live from the sidelines, I guess.
That's right. Yeah, the role I always get at ESL events somehow. We'll be going around the grounds a little bit here as well. We won't be theory crafting too much about what the results mean in the grand scheme of things. That's when they're going to come back to obviously you guys in the studio, and you guys get the fun job of putting all the pieces together.
We're used to putting the pieces back together. We've seen you guys struggle at times.
Forgot to mention we shipped them to Poland, the Poland office for today.
Yeah, it's nice out here in Katowice.
Yeah,
very nice.
Actually, they lucked out. They've got the air-conditioned studio. We didn't get that. Must be nice, boys.
I've been in this studio when it's not air conditioning. It's pretty rough. It gets hot in here.
This is hell.
Wow. That's not bad. That's a good way to end that little segment, isn't it?
Yeah, see, the producer's like, cut.
Yeah, and he's like, all right, Chad and Moses, this is where you pick up the pieces that are Lauren right now on the floor.
And Lauren's life.
Yeah, Lauren's life. Yeah, we're going to have a lot of games today, so obviously I don't even think we're going to be taking a necessarily taking a break. I think we're just going to be, when the game ends, we're going to go over to Lauren and Mitch. We're going to see what they're looking at the end of a game that's on their stream. We'll come back to us when the next map is live and all those fun things. Important thing to note that we didn't mention earlier, all these matches going on, 2 maps obviously, just like all season, but the second map of each series cannot start until everyone's first map is complete. Yeah, that's really important, so teams don't know what the resulting product is until it's too late to really...
Yeah, so the motto tonight will be analyst keep talk until,
yeah, right,
until the games are done.
Show.
Yeah.
And then also the third stream, as we just, Matt and Henry will be doing the G2 phase here. Lauren and Mitch, like we said, will be roaming, and there's a UK stream going on. We'll call it the
Are they doing the VP North game?
They're doing the VP North game.
Okay, so that's more of like a, I guess, North vying for #1 seed, and VP
just trying to stay out of relegation.
Avoid relegation, yeah.
Without further ado, we're just going to get right into it. G2 versus FaZe. Yeah, let's just do that. Let's start talking.
Well, why did we pick this one, Jason? Should we set this one up for the people at home?
Yeah, set the stage for me, Chad.
This, I think, will be the most competitive match of the night, and both teams are in a position where they really need that 2-0 if they want to avoid any mathematical chance of potentially not making it to the playoffs. We've seen G2 on the rise recently. They were at the bottom of the standings earlier in the season. That was a surprise to everybody. The super team dream didn't come to life. But then they've turned it around. They've had a resurgence, and now we've got FaZe, who aren't struggling. Obviously, they're a really decent team, and they're playing fantastically, making all those finals and stuff. They just seem to, we seem to not have found their weakness, but when they're not playing Astralis, they don't look as put together, and that's something which we saw last night when they played Hellraisers.
Yeah, they looked, and that was tough. I mean, that was a little bit of, the conversation of, is it jet lag? Is it the LAN hangover of coming back from a big tournament that was going on? Might have been a little bit of both. Either way, they split that, which is going to make, at least a little bit more of a cushion here. I like that we picked this match because I think these are two... I think it'd be hard to argue that you could find 2 more individually skilled rosters across all of Counter-Strike.
This is the definition right now of the 2 teams who love the Force Spies. We're going to see so many Deagle, Force Spy, Tech9.
You just brought up some PTSD. What was that match? It was in
Star Ladder.
Star Ladder, when they... I think there was like a total of 6 gun rounds played across like 2 maps or something like that.
Crazy. It's not what you want.
It is not what you want.
It's entertaining.
It is entertaining. The Deagle's obviously the Tech9, so that'll be really, really cool. It's just going to be interesting to see how it all comes down. I think the tough part for it is the first map's going to be on Inferno.
Yeah, and I guess that's like FaZe's
you
almost
say, they've really
#1
come out on
right
top
now
of the new map.
Yeah, but it's just so scary, right? When you have players like Shox and Kenny who you're going up against as well, who the French teams in the past have been fantastic at Inferno because of these set strategies and stuff that they've been able to run. But the way that G2 do it is it's not as structured as like an existence level. It's not as loose as a happy style. They've kind of found that. Oh, we're going to see this later as well, aren't we?
That's beautiful.
Yeah, we've got the middle ground of Inferno right now with the strategies that the guys on G2 are able to bring out. But this is a map where I guess both teams will get to use all of their strengths. You know, you have players who are really good roaming with the AWP, Kenny Asanalu, and then you've got people who are good at being rocks. You've got, you know, Body's actually proving to be one of those right now for G2, and then you've got Kiyoshima on the other side of things for FaZe. I think the approach right now for FaZe on their map is potentially exploitable if G2 have done their homework and watched the demos, and it's just going to be interesting to see how they play that CT side. Are they going to cheat Keo over to the B bomb site early so he can use his utility to help out Nico and Carrigan? Are they going to have the standard 3 guys at A, so he'll be over the pit side straight away? Right. It's just going to be, I think that's where the early battle will be decided. And then the economy, you know, where are we going to find ourselves? Is this just going to be a force buy match? Yeah, that would be very interesting. I think also the cool thing about, especially on a map like Inferno, is the player. I mean, we can talk all we want about Kenny and Shocks and how dynamic they can be and how big of stars. I think Apex is a player that is going to be massively important on this map. You think of, you know, one of the few players that I can think of that like fits into that stereotypical, like that one role that he has, that entry fragger role. And if he goes off on a map like Inferno, where it is all about getting that entry, finding just some kind of an entrance into the B bomb site, into A during the execute, that's huge. So even if he can just get his one kill that opens up the bomb site, Apex is always a player that I think can make things so much easier for his teams. So he's going to be huge. And then on the FaZe side of things, I notice a lot on Inferno more than probably any other map is so much utility is spent early on in the rounds to try and just get like one kill. Like teams will waste like 3 players, maybe not waste, but use 3 players worth of utility to just give themselves an opportunity to get a 5-on-4 advantage, whether they're terrorists, whether they're CT-sided. So I mean, that early jockeying for position is massive. Yeah, for sure. And it's you have to decide where you want to have that battle, right? I think we've seen the map evolve, and especially in the old version as well, where, you know, once you have that banana control, once you have that top mid-wall control, you can run the clock right down and do very late round fakes because the CTs have to be forced back into the side. They have to play like deep in B, have to play deep in pit. And when the execute comes in, that's panic, right? That's when the CTs are assuming everything's happening. They're making the call the best they can. And that late round rotation with 20, 25 seconds left can come in. You can maybe find almost an empty bomb site from time to time. That isn't something that we really normally see with these two teams, right? It isn't something which these guys are particularly known for. I think it's going to be more of a brute force style of Counter-Strike that we've seen, just them clashing head to head. And I was watching the reflections that Thorin did with Apex, and it's talking about the ride or die kind of entry fragging thing. And it is difficult for those entry fraggers who are always doing that role because they can get, you know, just have off nights where the timings aren't going their way, or the CTs do have the advantage. They are going to make that frag on him. So he needs to have one of those games where he's kind of feeling it or getting lucky to get in and find all those kills. Because Inferno is one, like you said, utility is great to find a frag. It's also great to block off choke points. So it's difficult for entry fraggers to bust through unless you have some really good pop flashes going on. Yeah, and I mean, that's the other X factor for an entry fragger, is just a random pop flash as well can just ruin everything. The good news is, since these players have so much talent, so much skill on both teams, even if someone like Apex is lost, even if that first initial kill doesn't go their way, so many opportunities to get back into things. You think Nico is just a massively impact player. Don't even really need to talk about him. Alu has been a specialist on this map. We've seen it. Kiyoshima, Rain has been playing phenomenally. Yeah, the whole last month. Quiet start to the year, and he has been incredible in recent times. They're going to need him to carry along that form right here if they want to, you know, put up a good fight against G2. It's not that they played poorly last night against Hellraisers. Potentially, you know, we talked about what was the LAN hangover that you were talking about. So that could be there. You know, we're definitely feeling it. We came back from the same place as them. But I think going into tonight, they look like they were still fighting yesterday, right? They had those big comebacks. Even though they lost on Train, they're able to bring it back on Cage. They're able to bring that, like, show a bit of composure and show why they're one of the best teams in the world. And they're definitely going to do that tonight versus G2. Yeah, they're going to have to. Cash is going to be the second map in that series, which we'll touch on later. We won't go too deep into it now, but definitely a good map for both of these teams. Let's talk a little bit about one of the other matches, just while we have time to kind of waste. My other pick is for the other interesting match of the night would have been the Na'Vi Heroic game, right? It's not necessarily one where you would have expected at the start of the season. We knew that Heroic are a team who are kind of on the rise. Seems like they've simmered off a little bit at the moment. They've had a couple of mixed results, especially at lands, like tours that didn't even get out of groups. But Na'Vi are another one. Start of the season, red hot, right? We were thinking, geez, these guys are back. They're looking really dangerous. They've also dropped off. And now these two teams are in a chance, you know, if they 2-0 or whatever the situation combination is, they're in a chance to get to those LAN playoffs. So for me, it's interesting because Na'Vi have a chance right now to stand up, to redeem themselves from that tours loss that they had against Misfits and that kind of stuff, and get themselves into a big event like this LAN final, right? Yeah, well, you were probably happy, North Americans. You know, see, that's an unfair stigma I feel has been attributed to me. It's not. I don't just blindly root for every North American team. Okay. I don't blindly root for every Australian team.
Exactly.
Yeah.
See, you should feel my pain a little bit.
Okay.
That's all I really got there. Yeah, I wasn't particularly happy. It was more disappointing to see a team like Na'Vi. I would much rather have Na'Vi be a mainstay as a team that's going to be dangerous in the top 5 than have a North American team upset them at a tournament.
Yeah.
So I mean, surprising upset, obviously very cool for Misfits. They're going to have to build on that to continue that credibility moving forward. I don't just blindly say these guys are going to be incredible now, but like that's the hard part for me is. Much like with Fnatic conversation, how long do we give these super teams? Like G2 at least seems to be on the rise. They've won tours. We've seen some really cool new things out of them that we haven't seen from French teams in the past in terms of tactical innovation. With a team like Na'Vi, and I posed this question about Fnatic to you the other day, is how long do you give them before you just say, okay, this is now at that point?
The thing is, the mixture of players should work, right? Like, you look at it on
that
paper,
is the really tough
it
part.
should work.
Yep.
And it looked really good when they replaced StarX. Absolutely no disrespect to him. I think he was a legendary player. I still think he had an amazing input as a coach, but they needed that mental reset, right? You give yourself a new perspective, a new person, and it kind of revitalizes the team without taking away one of the core members. When they added Andy in as he went from analyst to head coach, there was that revitalized Na'Vi. There was I was praising them for those CT sides, right?
Better,
so active, and now they've dropped off since there. So I don't know if it's a motivation thing. I hear a lot of murmurs, from time to time about Guardian potentially not putting in the amount of time as he should. And that definitely is going to affect the team when some of the strategies are just completely built around him having an AWP and finding a pick. Right. So I'm not just singling him out. This is stuff that I've heard. I don't know if it's true. I don't know if it's not. But it's just one of those things that maybe they're just not in a right headspace at the moment. But there are a team who we should see. And to really answer your question, I don't know. Maybe they're fine. Just let them keep going.
Obviously, with the date where it's at, how deep we're into the year. Obviously, with the major looming as well, I don't think we're not going to see anything until the major. So I think that's really where we're going to have to make judgment for most of these teams. Even G2, despite winning tours, I think that's going to be the real barometer. Would be the major. Same with Fnatic. Same with Na'Vi. Really kind of gauge where they're at. Making this though, I mean, no joke about it. This would be a huge opportunity for Na'Vi to have another big tournament to at least test their chops, see what they've been working with.
Yeah. I think with the string of events that we have coming in before the major, especially for these teams who are struggling would be the best way to put it. For Na'Vi to get to this land, it would be good. Maybe they can get some kinks out, and then they definitely have ESL 1 Cologne, I believe they're going to. Same for VP. I know they're not obviously going to make these land finals, but
Clash for Cash as well.
Yeah, that E-League event that got announced. Yep. So that's another interesting one. But for these guys, I think they need more events to get them back in the swing of things, right? Whereas FaZe, Astralis, SK, they're all showing, they're at the right point at the moment. These guys like playing more events, but they could probably simmer off for a little bit and take a little bit of time off in June. It doesn't seem like that's going to happen. But there's more chance for them to get found out, right? You know what I mean? So for teams like Na'Vi and stuff, they can kind of rebuild. Fnatic is another one. I've been impressed with the way that Fnatic are approaching the game. They've definitely become a lot humbler, and people in the team are understanding that they need to practice more. It's not just, sit there and look at the trophies that you've won as warm-up. It's let's actually practice, let's have strategies.
That is pretty epic, though.
It's cool. Flush is one of the most badass guys. I love him. But in terms of the way that these teams are all progressing, I always preach the fact that, we still consider them a top 10 team, or, they're rebuilding, or this, that, and the other.
But can you consider, because I agree with that sentiment for a lot of teams.
Yeah.
For a team like Na'Vi that has these players that have competed for championships, I can't possibly say they're top 10. That's good enough. I mean, I understand the idea that you can hover on 5, 6 and have a great tournament and win it, but this is a team that should be challenging for tournaments. I mean, they were doing it with one player different. Now, obviously, Zeus can have a lot of impact as an in-game leader. That's probably the biggest role they've struggled with. Zeus is not having that in-game leader to replace him with, but still, this lineup of players I feel like should be challenging a little bit more. Either way, some fun information for you, and for you viewers out there. 2 of the matches are ready to go. That means we have 20 players ready to go, but we can't start one map until every single team of every single match is ready to go.
Well, isn't that something?
So with all the struggles we've had throughout the season of waiting for 2 teams to ready up, now we've got to wait for, I think, like 7, 8 teams to ready up. Something like that.
Tom just said we're only waiting for 2 teams.
Only waiting for 2
Fnatic
teams.
And Mouse.
We're down to 2.
So that's not too bad.
That's not too bad.
We're getting real close.
Yeah.
So let's keep filling.
Yeah,
this is our new...
Here's the thing.
I was going to say this is the introduction to our new Counter-Strike podcast called Talk and Counter.
Yeah. We've been trying to do this all season long, haven't we? We haven't been able to find some time to actually do it. Can we bring up the standings one more time, the European standings? Let's see. Let's do this. We don't like to do predictions on matches anymore because we're all ex-pros and we hate that shit, that crap.
Whoa!
Let's bring up the standings. Let's say, yowza. Let's do predictions for which teams are going to make it by the end of the night.
Alrighty.
So North and Mousesport's already there, so you got to pick 4.
Okay, I think that the G2 FaZe game is going to get split 1-1, so both those teams are going to be on 15 and 10. Astralis are definitely going to take at least a minimum of 1 map off of Envious, probably 2. So I'm going to say they're going to take 2 off of Envious. That's going to put Astralis in that 3rd position on 16 wins. Now we get real icky.
We got Na'Vi, Heroic, and we got who's Fnatic playing? Mousesports.
Fnatic, Mouse are looking really good since the addition of Rops. Actually, they've looked really good for the majority of the season, so that's crazy.
I feel like
scary.
this is going to be something where it's basically picking between Na'Vi and Fnatic.
Yeah, it has to be, right? I think it has to be between Na'Vi and Fnatic, and that's going to come down to whichever one of these is able to pick up the pieces of their recent, not failures for Fnatic, more so for Na'Vi. Fnatic has kind of just been in that rebuilding process.
Yep.
Let me quickly just bring up the maps here.
This was a really fun exercise until we started looking into the statistics. I want more baseless claims out of Chad.
I would like to see. Well, I want both of those teams. Can we make 7? Can we make 7 for?
Can we just expand the playoffs?
Europe? We'll take 1 away from North America.
I like that.
Okay, so Heroic Na'Vi is on Overpass. Fnatic Mouse is on Mirage. The second Na'Vi Heroic game is Cobble. I think these maps probably favor Na'Vi.
God bless. All right,
I think Na'Vi's going to come 6th.
Okay, you're going to take Na'Vi to come 6th.
Yep.
I'm going to take, I'll take the odds on that. I'll go, this might be my last time doing this. I'll ride or die with Fnatic because I've always been the guy who said, I just never bet against Fnatic. That hasn't been the case in recent memory with some of the downturn, but I'll go back to it this time. I'll take G2 FaZe, Astralis, and Fnatic.
I hope I'm wrong because I want to see Fnatic rise back up to that kind of top 5 team in the world thing.
Yeah. That would be a cool storyline.
Yeah. I like
Rising
those guys.
from the ashes. I liked seeing them at the top, and the cool thing is if they were like equally as good as they were in their dominance, I don't think they would dominate the scene. I think it's gotten too deep in terms of how many teams are good, but it would be how many cool matches could we have if that old Fnatic was actually active. Yeah,
that's definitely something which would get
on.
Crazy, right? Imagine G2, Fnatic. We've obviously got FaZe, SK, and Astralis right now. That's pretty sick. Top 5. VP come back to form.
What do you think of the idea? What do you think of the idea that this trio that SK has: coldzera, Fur, and Phelps? Do you think it's the most dangerous 3 players that we have in Counter-Strike at the moment?
Consistently, probably, yeah, right? Like they step up, whereas FaZe have Rain and Nico, and then it depends who's going to help them. Alu would be probably the next go-to, but Kira has big matches in Carrick and can also turn it on. Astralis, you really struggle to pick a consistent star. We always say Device is Mr. Consistent, but he is normally just wrecking, and then it doesn't really matter who comes in below him, right? You don't have a power trio in that team. That's one that does change around a lot.
Device's dominance these days doesn't seem as explosive as other stars that we have. It just seems like he's getting his 2 kills every round, right? That you don't necessarily see all the kills. You don't necessarily have all the highlight clips of multiple rounds from Device, but he's he's gotten his 1 impact kill in the middle of the round. He's gotten 2 in the next, and that's just kind of how he grinds out his score. So that's actually
who else we got? We got VP. Obviously, is any given Sunday for any single player.
Well, Snacks is up there, and then just throw 2 in the mix. It's been Pasha.
They can all do it, right? That's the crazy thing about that roster. Na'Vi is one that should, on paper, challenge, like in terms of a trio, right?
Yeah, like Simple, Guardian.
And Flamey.
Flamey, yeah.
Like, bringing the AWPers into the mix, they're even probably more dynamic, right? Maybe not as clutch as the SK trio, but definitely on paper, they should be, I guess, vying, fighting for that power trio, I suppose. But that's not what we've been seeing. So I think it has to be SK.
Yeah, I don't think I can really argue against that. SK, that's a pretty scary trio.
North should be kind of not as scary.
North just has like that essence to it that they're just like not gonna win anything, don't they?
Whoa, I don't have that vibe.
You don't have that vibe at all?
No.
I have them as like Astralis 2.0, like the Astralis before they won.
So like TSM.
Yeah, we're like,
or
it was
Astralis
just like
Carrigan.
North, like everything's good on paper, no reason why this shouldn't be working, and then just don't win.
What advice do you have for North, Jason?
Advice for North. See, that's the hard part. This is what makes them like TSM 2.0 is because it should be working.
Yeah, but the thing
I think they're thinking too much.
I don't know if it's that.
Okay.
I think the fact that Config and Magix are still relatively new players to this high level of Counter-Strike, they need a longer building phase, and I think what they need to do is sacrifice a bit of time now and put these guys in different positions so they can learn how to play different brands of Counter-Strike.
Have a little bit more variety in their play styles and their positioning. Yeah, I mean, North is a team that I know for a long time, like right after they won Epicenter, like in October of last year, I noticed for like four months after that, like they had players consistently doing the same thing. Like MSL was still doing that aggressive in B-Halls and Mirage. Magisk was still pushing down that lower ramp pretty frequently. You knew he was going to be somewhere around there. So yeah, I think with their age and their youngness, if you add a little bit of variety to them, that's going to be dangerous. But still, just something about it. Because
I don't know. I think that they have a really good coach, and MSL is an in-game leader. I really like the way he approaches the game. I just think they need to teach the players how to play different versions of Counter-Strike or different brands or different positions, that kind of stuff. It's similar to, say, like when Cloud9 goes on a good summer run, right? Or has a good run of events, or maybe even just has one good event. It's because you didn't expect Automatic and Stewie to show up in that way. And then, okay, well, we know they do this. We know they approach the game in this manner. How are we going to counter it? All right, we'll fix that. Next event, they're out in groups. Next event, they're out in the quarters. The thing with European Counter-Strike is, from practicing against them and playing in events, you can do a strategy one round against these guys, and they're already adapting.
Quickly,
So even if you have a plan A and everything works with the plan A, and off that plan A, you win the event, like what Cloud9 have done, especially the ESL Pro League finals last year, right? Just Automatic and Stewie going absolutely nuts. It's not going to work 2 events in a row unless these guys can just step up and put up 30, 40 frags every single game, and that's
which is not going to happen.
It's just
not going to happen. Yeah, and I mean that's also the thing that we harp on this a lot, is that teams that appear to have structure. I know analysts generally give a lot of props and a little bit more love to teams that show that they have structure, because when all else fails, at least you have that structure to fall back on, and that's one thing that Cloud9 doesn't have, or didn't have, still doesn't really have, is when Stewie and Automatic aren't getting their 30, 40 kills. What structure, what kind of plan do they fall back on that can help the other players get involved? And they don't have that quite yet. So that's one reason why I know no one's really too excited about Cloud9.
Liquid have been looking good.
Liquid have been looking pretty good.
Twist is another player in development.
Yeah, he is. He really is. And he's been there for a long time. I feel like he was one of like the lost boys of Counter-Strike. That whole TSM lineup at the time, they had that like top 4 at ECS where they...
Semphis and Ganko, right?
Yeah, and I didn't think that team was actually going to necessarily go anywhere long-term consistently wise.
Yep.
But it was a bummer after that, because you'll remember, I think it was like I haven't heard this up, but a couple seasons before that, they dropped out of ESL Pro League and were in Premier, decided not to play that season. Then they had to play another season in Premier and try and get back in. But after that win at ECS, they didn't have any more LAN tournaments they could go to that could actually have them competing. And I feel like players missed a lot of experience. The team missed a lot of experience on that one. Either way, I said we had to hurry it up, and that's because we're finally ready to go live. G2 first phase is going to be coming at you. It's going to be Sadicus. It's going to be Henry G, bringing you all the action tonight.
Just Henry G.
No, he said Sadicus.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
Yeah, he put me first where I belong.
Oh, that's part. Well, there you go.
So there we go. We are going to be jumping into it. Last night of Pro League. Whoa. Hi. I'm getting very confused. How are you, Lauren and Mitch? That's insane. I like it.
Is this part of the plan?
I don't see you. I see us, and I can hear you. So we can have a conversation,
how's
guys.
How's it going over there? What are you up to?
Insane amount of teams and odds. What do you think? I can hear you. It's fine. We can definitely hear you. We can hear Matt tell you that we can hear you. We definitely can, but that's all right. I hear them in my ear, dude. Like, we gotta get rid of them. I'm just gonna let them talk, because otherwise I'm talking over them.
Okay, well, Matthew, it's a bit confusing. We are into it. It's going to be the pistol round here. G2 pushing down middle, and they're going to be actually getting very aggressive here. Kenny S going to be taken down first. Kiyoshima will find him, but Apex fighting back here towards the T-steps. A bit of explosive pistol round here, and it's going to be G2 running away the majority of the frags. But Rain, he's starting to fight back here, but that's all he can do so far.
Hopefully they only hear us and not them still, because I can still hear them, Henry, but it is G2 picking up the first pistol. So we follow this game, an important game. Obviously, both these teams a chance to qualify, but there's so many, I think it was 35 combinations. That's ridiculous.
Yes, indeed. And this one's the hot match that we got, basically because they're actually going to be in both like in the top 6 right now. But like if you get a 2-0 hit tonight, you're guaranteed to get that green mark on the leaderboard and guarantee yourself a place in the playoffs there. So here we go then. FaZe down with Deagle's Tech 9s, and they've got armor and head armor as well. One smoke to work with, that's for Karrigan. Up against a full array of SMGs here. I'm really not a fan of this buy in general. We've talked about this before a lot, and we'll see whether this actually works out for them. Rain with the first headshot, taking down kennyS. And maybe with a chance to actually convert this round to a victory.
MBK back on balcony. He's going to try and push back around. The smoke is out, but Kiyoshima doesn't care. Walks in through it, finds a kill with the pistol. So FaZe, as always, you want to talk about statistics that favor a team, are able to pick up the second round after losing the pistol. How do they do this every single time?
Yes, it's just the FaZe kind of calling card now, isn't it? Every single time.
Mind you, G2 is good at it as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
If I'm honest.
Well, keeping 5 players alive and you only had Tech 9s and Deagles, that's not bad. And that's why I'm not a big fan of the SMG buys. That's why you want a rifle on either side to anchor it and have the long-range potential, and they've just been overwhelmed there.
Do you remember the last time these two teams met?
When was that?
On land, Star Ladder. Quarterfinal.
Ooh, what happened?
FaZe won all 6 pistols.
Oh, that's right.
And it went 3 maps.
Yeah.
FaZe ended up making the final, winning the event. G2 went down after being dominant in the group stages.
Oh, they've managed to recover at least some kills here. 4 in total for G2, saving 2 UMPs as well. Nico trying to take one of them down, won't do it. So all 5 players drop after when the bomb was planted. They were hunting for kills. They actually managed to win the round, but ultimately G2 farming a lot of cash there. So they can actually force buy and return, and it would actually be pretty powerful. Just to remind you, if you're a new viewer, maybe a G2 fan, after seeing them become victorious over in tours, you get $600 per UMP kill. They actually managed to get a famous 3 UMPs, or 2 UMPs, an M4 and CZ as well. So here we go, then round number 3. As we'll see, G2 trying to fight back here, answer what FaZe presented in the second round. In terms of a stack, pretty standard so far. One player ready and waiting towards the sandbags position of Banana. He'll be flashed in by his teammate as soon as he gets a sound cue. That's body. You can see that flashbang set up for him as well. So if he gets any sort of indication of players coming up, that flash comes around and he gets ready to go. There it is. Flash goes in, but decides to not fully commit at this stage. So far, though, FaZe looking for a bit of mid-control. We'll just be holding up, and this could be the unraveling of Apex. Somehow gets away with a dink there. Takes Rain down to 9 HP.
9 HP indeed. Still a chance in this for G2, therefore, to respond to the last round. Kenny gets absolutely obliterated by Alu. It's body and MBK that fire inside of the smoke and take down both Kyo and Rain. Alu gets one better, but MBK's brought this to an advantage. Now it's AK3 on the map in the round. 2 in the hands of the terrorists that will try and pull this all together. Good shot from Karrigan just before the flash landed as well. As Nico tries to go back and cut off both, has the information for his teammate that they're both there coming up from the arch side, but couldn't do anything of it. Karrigan's going to use the information wisely, though. Finds the first kill. He's going to spot Shox' shoulder, fires in a little bit early, and Shox, he starts to pedal in around the site. Karrigan's waiting for it as well. Knows he's likely to go behind the pillar. He's going to chase and force the issue as the Molotov goes down, and Karrigan's done it for FaZe.
Big round there by Karrigan. 2v1 situation as well. Held his nerve. Shoxy looking a bit overwhelmed. You can see that. UMP as well. Up against Karrigan full 100 HP, and he only had 40 himself. Tries to do what he can with the incendiary. Didn't work out for him. And FaZe managed to deny the force buy for G2 there. Sort of shotgun coming in for Kiyoshima. He normally takes that towards apartments. It's one of those maps. I guess the only map we really see it on is Cobblestone, and this sometimes is obviously going towards that apartments position, trying to take out some close-range headshots, especially against the unarmored players. You've got to do a relatively good job in that respect. He'll make his way towards that apartments position. Now, MBK waiting for him. So, FaZe, after losing the pistol, great position here. Kiyoshima with the sawn off, manages to get the first kill.
Wow. That's quite good from Kyo. Stuck with it.
Yeah. Goes on to 9 HP, but it's fine. It's $100 in the bag, and they'll go towards B at this point. 4 players sticking together, and it's Body and his teammate Shox, I believe, actually in the new box, but they haven't really got much to work with. The old bait and switch. Can Shoxy maybe find 1 kill here? He certainly can. That's not bad.
Not bad at all. Bomb's temporarily dropped as well, which means they have to challenge. He's done decent damage on Danique. Take that back. He did 1 shot of damage. It looked like he hit him twice, but he's only down to 77. MBK is going to take out Kiyoshima. That'll allow a rotation to come in a little bit more swiftly. They've only picked up the shotgun. Unfortunately, that's all NBK has to, back to the P250 for range. Has to work with through the flames, caught by Ali before he gets to the other side of them. And it's FaZe that go up 3-1.
Yeah, that was looking like a very promising round for FaZe there. kiyoshima finding that early kill towards the apartments position. They then go towards B with a simple set execution, smoke towards CT spawn and coffins, but that double stack of new boxes, it actually allows Shoxy to cause some economic damage there with the P250 frags. 3-1 for FaZe, important round here. No one really established. You can see after winning 3 rounds in a row, FaZe still very limited. Look at that. They actually haven't much at all left after the reinvestments. No orbs on either side. G2 will be aiming for that double orb setup we've seen so many times on them on this particular map. For now, though, 5 and 4s. 1 player over Kid as well. So whoever wins this round is almost certainly going to be Eco. MBK boosted on towards Quad. And Rain with some control towards the apartments. Kenny S beneath MBK as well, just a note. So that'll be another bait. MBK will probably try and go for 1 frag and fall back and allow Kenny S to lurk underneath that Quad position.
Body trying to spray in still. I'll back off, subside slightly under pressure toward Banana. 2 players occupying toward Quad side. With the boost, NBK gets 1. Kenny's down below. They double up, but they get traded back, and Keo gets away, spotting a 3rd, trying to repeat from the hay bales. Smartly gets himself out of there. So good trades, I have to say, from FaZe, considering this mini stack, if you want to call it, with the boost. Shocks, though, Cubby undetected could be huge. Keo, he's making a little bit of noise in this position. So, Shocks, it's really a game of chicken at this point as he waits in the corner. He could have peeked it earlier. He's not. He's looking the wrong way. It looked like he was inching in to check it. There you go. 2 kills for Shocks. Pick you and take them both. Well done.
Yeah, that's just due to the fact he's killed 2, spotted 1 at Quad as well. This is not checking garbage at all, but it's up to Alu now. In a winnable situation, the bomb will be planted on the A side here, but Shox is coming in from the Quad side. His teammates will be body, and I think Alu will be dying momentarily. Manages to rotate towards the site and deploy a smoke so he can focus on one particular area. Still within a shout to winning this one as they both come from the same position. Good night. Shoxy, incredible round from him. Like we said, kiyoshima finding the frags there towards the Quad side. He spotted a 3rd just about as well, the shoulder of him on the corner. So he just thinks, okay, the other 2 will be towards the bomb site. This should be absolutely clear. Shoxy, though, lying in wait. Waits for the 2-to-wall pass. Takes them both down. Clinical stuff. And that's going to be the first round since the pistol for G2. 3-2 in their favour still for FaZe. And like I said, whoever lost that round would be onto an EK, but they do get the bomb down, which gives them an extra $800 per player. So they will be forcing into this, and why not? They want to keep the G2 side modest, so even if they don't win it, it comes down to a 1v1, for example. That still keeps the game within their grasp. And even though it's a 3-on-3, well, 3 plays 3, they still have a chance to stabilize things going forward. So the buy comes in. AK-47, 2 UMPs, 2 Tech-9s. They've got smokes and flashbangs to work with. There's another default for now. No one fully committing towards Banana or apartments. kiyoshima just starts to explore that area, pre-fires the corner. The CTs, they know they can't really hunt for frags here. That's a nice shot from body.
Very nice shot. Good angle. Nico gets caught out a little bit too far. Don't think he was expecting the last step to be the one that took him down. About as far as he could go in the position. As Alu grab over to the AK instead and try and prod back into the position that was lost. They've gone passive as a result of that kill. Rightfully so. Smoke off is terrible, to be fair. Yeah. Alu's going to go straight through that. That smoke down, Alu says, that's my advantage. I'm going. And they are in, but Shocks gets 1, holds down the trigger, finds 2, 3rd in the air, and somehow Keo, SMG, UMP, able to get the kill with it.
Yeah.
7 HP, though, they're going to push him back in return. Kenny, not quite able to get through, doesn't want to give himself away, and it would make it a 2 versus 2. So he backs off for now as MBK gets a lot closer. kiyoshima stays to the corner, flashes high in the sky, won't fully blind MBK, but it discourages him ever so slightly. He knows he's in the corner. Another jump shot with a UMP. It's the new trend.
Why not? Well, yeah, like he said, Kenny S making the right decision there, had the option to push through the smoke, try and deny the plant coming in, but he wants to wait for the rotations to come in, like he said. If he goes down, that makes things very possible for FaZe. Waits for his teammates to come in, they take it together. Not really much he could do at that point, coming from the garden position and towards CT spawn as well. Smoke goes down, and they manage to pick up round number 3. FaZe, 1 planted, but after losing 2 in a row, they will be onto an eco this time. Bit of a partial buy. Rain with head armor and a Tech-9, Deagles, PT50s, no grenades. This should be a guaranteed round for G2. Always said that with bated breath. Like you said, FaZe are amazing with the pistols in general. Alu goes very fast towards the top of B, but he actually gets a nade in the face. He'll be punished. Body waiting in the sandbags this time. Finds the first kill. That's enough work done. Can just fall back at this point, but looks like he maybe wants a little bit more.
I want more, Henry.
You always do.
I want... Oh, it's true. You can't... It's a bit of greed. One of my 7 deadly sins. I possess all 7. But I want more Pro League. We're going to get it in Dallas. We don't know who we're going to have there with us. G2 could be one of them. FaZe could be one of them. G2 took 2. FaZe took 2 back.
Yeah.
I like how Keo tries to hold that with a deagle. Ambitious. We'll go back to Banana, late on arrival to the position. Apex ready for it. It's Nico, though, that they've got to go against, and that's tantalizing for Nico in a clutch. At a 1 versus 2, reads it right on the timings, but unfortunately didn't give himself much to work with on his angle.
It's scary there. Nico in a 3 versus 1. You always think it's possible, especially when he finds the first kill as well. Didn't have the armor to work with, so as soon as one bullet touches him, that aim punch comes into play. Taken down, so difficult round for overall for G2. It does come down to just 2 players surviving, but still managed to win it. 4-3, certainly still a CT-sided map. Now the orbs starting to come into play. KennyS with a decent spot as well. This is the battle I'm looking forward to, Matt. The fact that KennyS and Alu, 2 of the best Inferno AWPers right now. I'd say Alu just about beats KennyS in terms of consistency. I'm not being completely...
In terms of aggression, I think he does.
Yeah, like in the CT
Which sounds
side.
bizarre.
Yeah, so this one, obviously, KennyS does have the advantage being the CT AWPer here. Spots a couple towards the C-steps. What does that smoky dip for? That's kind of cool. And now gives himself a chance to try and find that first pick of the bridge. But Kiyoshi is waiting for it, and it's going to be Volley surely going down at this point as well, but somehow manages to get a frag. Still the man advantage lies towards FaZe. Not for long, though. Shox is getting involved, 3-on-3.
3-on-3. Kiyoshima going back through the underpass, going to go to alt mid. No one inside of the boiler to watch that off. But it is going to be a single player on A, so if they do spread the mids and try and take over top, it could be a tough order for NBK. Push down, Alu, tagged up slightly. It's going to give them information that they're not fully inside of Banana. No rotation off of that yet. Okay, there it is. I was expecting that.
Yeah, well, this makes sense now. Still a minute to play with. NBK towards the trash position once again. So they will be finishing up towards A. Apex started to realize it, and Shoxy as well. He's taking a bit of a gamble. Coming over, they've got some sort of indication it's going to be an A-sided attack. It is certainly going to finish that, and NBK, what a peek that was. Takes down Alu, and still funneling towards A. So the Apex, I was about to say with the easy frag, can't land it just yet. Battling towards the pit position. No frags coming in as of yet.
Trying desperately as Kyo to defend his teammate, planting the bomb range, 16 HP. They get it down. He'll re-smoke library. Best smoke post plant you can utilize on the A site, but a shot through and rain down. Kyo nowhere really to hide as NBK was clearly going to check pit. G2's going to pick up around 5, so they've won the pistol, lost the second round, which then led to 2 more, and then they've won 4 since then. Imagine they didn't give up that second round.
Yeah, they've looked dominant in the gun rounds, really. All recovered, but still the bomb keeps going down for FaZe. 4 times in a row the bomb's been planted, so they can keep buying here. Still with the AWP as well, it's going to be on the back of Alu. No double AWP set up as of yet, so watch out for G2. It'll be KennyS and Shoxy. Quite a formidable duo, but it was amazing when the map first came out and this team was just forming and arriving at the style out of group stages. That's where they really showed us how powerful it was, but now it's been known for a while. I think it has been shut down. It's not as OP as it once was. We'll see what happens there. Number 9. Full bar on either side. Alu, his position for now is T-step, seeing if KennyS likes to try and challenge him. 3 players towards B for now. Body backed up by Shoxy and Apex. Apex is going to be falling back momentarily. We'll see what happens. Apex boosted up. Maybe a set piece here. We haven't seen much of that from the FaZe. Lots of defaults and just taking map control. Can do lots of set smokes on this one.
Shox. Rotating over. Smoke down the top mids, waiting to try and get the Molotov down to hold them off instead. Very straightforward from FaZe. No dominant side, I guess you could say, in terms of where they want to put pressure on early. They haven't gone to Banana overly or top middle overly. They've been splitting it out pretty much 3-2 every time in their default. And NBK's caught Kiyoshima out after he got aggressive inside of the apartments and backed off. He was still trying to hold the angle. It was quite impressive, actually, that NBK's able to take that so quickly. But now it's Nico to go to the other side of the map as a result, walking in. Completely dry, stack up on the flowers. There's 3 players here. No chance Nico gets away with this. And I was gonna say, if he gets the second kill, he's done very well. As it's all G2. Again, you say dominant in the gun rounds, looking to be the same here. Double stack toward Pit. Should be perfect. MBK gets a little bit antsy, I guess you could say. Fires in a little bit too soon. But Apex catches off Alu. Kerrigan goes down.
5 plants in a row still. So they can keep on buying. They get a $3,400 and the 800 on top of that. So that's money coming in once again. Alu could actually get dropped and all. I don't think that will happen. I'll probably get 5 AKs. But G2 can't break the money of FaZe just yet. Very close rounds coming in. Apex though, $10,000. Kenny S, 3K. Shoxy's dropped a weapon. There's the double orb setup. We are waiting for it. And now this is where G2 start firing on all cylinders. Shoxy normally holding the line at the B site. Once he gets established in the car position, they can leave him there, allowing them to have 4 players a day.
Keo just walks back. That is unreal. That is a very, very dominant ace.
Yeah, we need a replay of that because that was unreal. Oh my God, Kenny S. It looked like he was out of position. He was going to get 1 kill and go down, but the double kill comes in and saves him. Ends up getting an ace as well. Not too bad at all. Kenny S arriving in emphatic fashion there when the double orb setup is deployed. He's got the best spawn available once again. Let's keep the camera on Kenny S for now and see whether he wants to take down a kill towards T-steps. I'm sure he does. And he'll be looking towards that position. Might just find one. Looks like it's a B rush though, so it's up to Shoxy. Like we said, holds the line, falls back, buys himself some time, and just keeps changing his position. Good stuff so far. Holds them off.
Shox. Ooh. Close. Damage coming in, he's going to back off ever so slightly. Crossfire set, 3rd player rotating. Apex coming in from Ruin's body, just has to stay alive to bait them. As Apex gets back in position, Alu's done all right with the Tech 9. Unfortunately, he's the only one to get a kill so far, and he's the only one that will. It's now 7 rounds in a row for G2. And it's not a gun round won yet by FaZe. 2nd round force, yeah, look at this.
The fact is as well, he dropped the smoke, and then just listening to something, so we can get past that. We can push through before it goes down and not have the grey screen.
Bang.
It's actually the play that works against them, and he's so hungry for that ace at that point. There it is. Boom. Finds Kiyoshima. He's normally in the apartments area. He knows that. And no bomb planted, but still maximum loss bonus. The buys keep on coming. Shoxy looking to get a bit more aggro this time. Looks like it's going to work out for him. What a shot that was there on the AWP as well. Waiting at T-steps for him. Oh, this is when it gets scary.
Yeah, FaZe struggled. Was it last night? Or the night before?
Hellraisers, yeah, last night.
Yeah, it was last night. They struggled last night to close out both maps. Obviously, they did pick up 1 win. Yeah. But this is remnants of some of the issues that they had, just not really getting going, not on the same page, not executing. They're getting absolutely out-dueled right now against G2. As Nico works his way in, backside shows. I think he took a shot through his teammate there. I didn't see who it hit, but might have been Rain. He's down to 44. It's still decent to get them inside of the site because this time, for once, they don't have 3 players there ahead of time, ahead of schedule. Only 1. Smoke off. Look at Apex. Back in through CT quickly. Takes down Rain. Keo will get NBK, but that's going to be round done because Kiyoshima was lurking.
Shoxy wallbanged someone. I think it's with the coffin. I was getting excited. I thought it might be in the stained glass wallbang to deny the plant, but I'm going to say it was the coffin. That stained glass one is very rare indeed. Another round for G2. They have run away with this. I think that's going to be 8 rounds in a row. It is indeed. After going down 3-1, they've bounced back. The double orb setup looks perfect for them. A decent retake once again. We've got a replay here of the play. This might be the wallbang. Yeah, through the coffin. So that's a little bit of a pre-fire, and that's so good from Shoxy. When they're both arriving like this, Kenny S and Shoxy, like, who can shut them down? I just put those Shoxy over in Starladder after that great group stage performance. I was like, so do you think there's any teams that actually know how to shut down this double orb setup? Obviously there are now, but he was just saying, no, I don't think there are anyone that is. And once they do know how to set it up, shut it down, I've got another setup that kind of changes everything up, and they'll be locked out once again. So that's quite exciting. I am waiting for this team to like win a big event. Obviously they won tours, but does that get you excited? It doesn't really.
Not really, no. Yeah.
Beating Hellraisers in the final, like, it's not really a test of to say they're a contender for the top 5 right now.
Yeah, and they failed in Austin as well just before that. So yeah, I'm not 100% on board with them yet, but they are improving. Group stages at Starladder was impressive. There's no doubt about that. Whereas FaZe, you cannot doubt, is #2 in the world right now. And some may even say they're better than Astralis head-to-head because they are 2-1 against them now.
I guess you got SK in the mix as well.
SK is going to come back for sure. But I think people are going to want to see more from them too.
Well, still, double orb set up. FaZe buying once again. This looks like an easy kill for MBK. Changing his position up. That's so nice from him. Dynamic play. He's been defensive so far, but he does go down in the end. Kiyoshima, this thing out of the house, and going to find 2 frags here as well. Possibly around for FaZe. Looking good.
Possibly indeed. Kenny, smoke. This time no gap in it, so won't be able to shut down absolutely everyone, but FaZe need to capitalize. Bomb already wrapping in as well. Best chance to get a plant on A that they've had in a while. Their string of plants is quite good. As you mentioned, 5 rounds in a row. They didn't get any in the last 2, but they get one here. Or sorry, they did get one in the last thing, and in the previous. So 2 of the last 3. Nico's got a great chance to take. Oh yeah, what? He's so fast. Gun barrel showing. Nico, I thought we'd just pre-fire that, and Kenny nails him. Shocks comes in. Alu's in no man's land. He walks out to take the fight, and the best chance they had gone, just like that.
This is just G2 on another level tonight. I haven't seen them play like this in quite a while. Just the fact that everyone's hitting shots, it's double orb combo. If Shoxy and Kenny S are in 5th gear, you're in a lot of trouble, and FaZe are feeding it right now. To be fair, as they discussed on the analyst desk, right, they still have that kind of LAN hangover. I know I'm still feeling it, that kind of jet lag. I wouldn't be able to play at 100% right now. And FaZe, this is not the same team we're used to seeing. Getting to finals at events are all looking quite poor. Rain and Nico at the bottom of the scoreboard, man. How rare is that? That shouldn't be happening, right? Kiyoshima, yeah, he's a very decent player right now, but he's sort of mid-table. That should be Rain and Nico at the very top, carrying them at some points, and they just can't get going here whatsoever. But another plant, another buy comes in. 10-3 after being out 3-1. This is looking quite desperate now for the FaZe clan. But still, even if they get 12-3, like we always say in Pro League, that's normally enough. You know, it's not a problem.
Yeah, 12-3 always dictates a win, right? Except in this case, I would say that it's even more of a struggle because they've yet to win a gun round. But you're right. Is jet lag the factor? I'm still feeling remnants of it.
I still feel like I've been on a planet.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know if I go that far tonight. The first night, oh my God, that was the worst I've ever been in studio. There was some nights at PGL when I was falling asleep almost at casting. That was the worst I've had. Last night, not great. Tonight, we'll see how we go. Maybe I'll dig into a Red Bull for the first time in like a year. Which one's the best these days? What one's all the ones the kids are drinking? The red one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cranberry.
The Red Bull. The Red Bull.
Wow, another kill for Shoxy. I think Kenny S is already on 23 kills after 13 rounds. That's absolutely insane. Well, Body doing significant damage. It's still a 5-on-4 on another nade coming in. Nico's taking down to 38 HP. An incendiary checked at his feet. That's going to funnel him towards the A side. They have got mid control at this stage as well. But what can they really do with him? I'm not so sure. 30 seconds. And at this point, GTs need to trade frags. Just hold up in crossfires, and there's the boost for the AWPer. It's looking a bit sloppy, though. There's no reason to face him. Let's make them come to the bomb set. The time ticking away. This is perfect. Flashbangs coming in. Kenny S has let one slip by, but it doesn't matter. Good communication means they find the frag, and with 15 seconds remaining, they have to go towards quad here. Apex, 1 kill, should secure the round. There it is, bombed down as well.
Kenny found by Alu, though. That does give them a slight chance, because if they get Apex, can they get the bomb in time? Nope, not even close. They'd have to get both kills as well, because inside of the site, it wasn't just Apex they had to worry about. So, yeah, round down indeed. And 11-3. Yet to win a gun round. We go to round 15. They may not win one at all because they're on 3 UMPs and 2 AKs.
Triple AWP set up to finish it off. Apex, not an AWPer.
That may give them a chance. Yeah, there we go. I was going to say that might give them. I think what happened is Kenny lost his AWP. Obviously, oh, they did have it. No, they made sure it's gone. Kenny lost his AWP. And I think someone said, I'll just buy you one because they all have money. And then 2 of them ended up buying one.
Well, Kenny S looking towards second mid this time. No one there. It's a banana rush to finish things off. Shoxy, another easy kill for him. This is looking monstrous now for the French side. Good lord, Shoxy.
It is going to be, MBK killing Shocks. That'll give them a bit of a chance, but it is going to be G2 easily dominating the round. FaZe have fallen off the deep end in this game, I'm afraid. 12-3 in a very, very convincing fashion for G2. On decision night as well, the last night of the league, FaZe, that's going to hurt them. Because remember, there's so many possibilities, and I don't even want to say, but are they even going to qualify, Henry?
We'll find out. Well, we still have a break. Like we said, 12-3. Still a chance to bounce back. Do not go anywhere. We're back to the second half.
Well, we are going to get back underway. Jumping in. Apologies for the start. I just want to clarify. We heard both casters from the other stream in our ear because they're both, we're running off the same analyst desk. I wasn't sure if you guys could hear them on the stream, and I didn't want to talk over them and make it even more confusing for everyone. So if you only heard one side of the conversation, I'm not crazy and I don't talk to myself, I promise.
At least not tonight.
I do in the shower sometimes.
No, to be fair, you do talk to yourself quite a lot.
Do I?
Yeah, when you're playing computer games as well.
Oh, yeah, but that's just like my own entertainment.
Yeah. But like, it's quite entertaining to watch you play computer games.
No, it's definitely not.
Just talking to yourself away. I kind of like it.
Well,
but
it's fine. Sometimes Jaden's listening. I've just gotten used to that, okay?
Well, if you are just joining us, it's 12-3. What a performance that was from the CT side of G2. They win this pistol. That pretty much spells GG, but you never know. 12-3 is not an open shut case. We'll see what happens there. I'll have a look at the buy for the T side first. 4 sets of armor for them. MBK with a cheeky little deagle there. Not often seen on Inferno, but we'll have a look at the FaZe buy as well. Carrigan with the smoke and diffuse kit, and his teammates has 4 sets of armor. So G2 pick this up. Game's pretty much over. Carrigan, leave the chickens alone.
Yeah.
Friendly chickens.
Yeah, maybe he's hungry. Body.
There it is. That was some T-steps as well.
That is pretty unreal. All the way to top mid. I was going to say Body's about to clear out sandbags, and I'll go over toward B, but that's going to discourage. Now they have time to wait as well. Getting that kill, they can slow the pace and let the CTs react.
Yeah, they have to now. They have to work out, okay, do we need to rotate one off B? Is this going to be an A commitment? So far, it's holding in a 2-2. I guess that makes sense. But here's the reaction coming in right now. Nico will have 2 terrorists on the other side. Pushes it round. Oh, that's a nice shot to recover, though. And he might get back as well. He actually does. It's looking very good indeed.
Body getting Nico. Okay. Body getting Carrigan. Body potentially going back to get Rain. Kenny's the first in line. Body's going to plant the bomb instead. It's Rain that gets a number of shots in. And the kill on arrival. Needs to get a headshot immediately. Body's going to stay on the ledge as well, making a harder angle. Rain makes no mistake on it, but Kenny gets it back in return with the deagle. And it's gone to Keo in a 1 versus 2 to save any chance, perhaps, back into the game if they win the next round after this. As they did in the first half. Maybe there's more in it, but Apex makes sure that this one is certainly done.
It's so satisfying to hear the deagle headshot against unarmored opponents. In the pistol round especially, it's so cool to watch. So MBK opening things up from T-steps. He's waiting for Alu to have a look down, get a bit of information for his teammates there, gets his head blown off, and Kenny S finds the deagle as well. He gets a secondary kill towards CT spawn. The retake can't happen. It has to be a force buy here from FaZe. They have to go all in here. There's no choice. You normally criticize Alu for maybe force buying a little bit too much, but I think this time it's justified. CZs, a deagle, and Rain on the 5-7. We'll see whether they can maybe get back to this one. Very good with the pistols like we saw in the first half. But for now, Nico takes a bit of damage down to 25 now, and he's going to be punished for that as well. Nico, one of the world's best deaglers for sure, one of the world's best players in general. He's very good at that weapon, can't get anything done. So a little smoke there from Carrigan. He'll be found as well, presumably by Body. Doesn't quite land the shot just yet, but takes himself down to, oh no, 0 HP. So 5 on 3. Don't need to overcommit. Sure, you get 2 kills of Banana, but that could be a stack. You don't just want to assume and run in there and find yourself in a crossfire. So just hold up and maybe get some more map control and see what Rain can do here.
Nade down. Body's going to cop the most of that. In fact, yeah, touchdown. 55. 55. He's going to back off as Rain has the smoke at delivery. He's going to round the corner first and clear a boiler. It's Keo that's got an angle, hopefully, for the CZ to work from. Does manage, actually, to get a kill from that. I'm very surprised. And he instantly runs down the hallway so as to make it awkward and more work to find him, but bomb planted. Unless he gets something incredible. And not only that, look at... Oh, this could work. Yeah. A little ring around the rosy because he goes out the window as Apex came in to flank him. I was going to say, if he does something miraculous, they're in a good position, but they're already playing for exits at this point in time. Rain's gone, head armor, and a 5-7. And Keo thinks he's got a chance to get away from there. He's gravely mistaken.
Well, unfortunately, man, it's going to be 14-3 and no money for FaZe into the next round. The best they can really do here is save that deagle head armor, and Rain still has something to work with going forward. They might as well try and hunt him down. You can see them in T-spawn, just try and get everything out of the CT possession. 14-3. This could be a very quick game indeed. So if you're unaware what's going on tonight, we're playing the last games of Pro League. The reason is we play them all at the same time. There's no sort of tomfoolery. You can't work out results and kind of help people out. Everyone has to play at the same time, right? So at least There's no sort of foul play that could possibly happen. And well, this round has to be another force buy from FaZe. Scouts, CZs, UMPs. No armor really. Alu with glass cannon scout. Don't really see that too much these days. He does get a tag in. He's up against Kenny S with no orb this time. MBK has got the scout. His headshot, and Karen is actually getting the stuff. But Shoxy, even more so.
Kiev backed off as they smoke out toward the sandbags. 14-3 G2. This is very good from them. They've been impressive in the second half of the season. Remember when we thought they weren't going to make the LAM because they were 0-6 or 0-8 even? Wasn't it 0-8? 0-6.
I'm not sure.
They were dead last after week 3.
Yeah, that's right.
And now they're fighting for a spot in the playoffs, and I'd say looking very good, to get one as they'll boost up.
If they get the 2-0, that guarantees it.
That's right. Ryan, Keo, both shots going in for FaZe, so this time G2 not quite having a walk in the park. Now he boosted up, sees his teammate go down. Fires through the smoke. It's going to be a flash in instead. Deagle in hand instead of the scout, and Apex and Shox hold off, so it is map point G2. Not much to report, just another slaughter. A little bit closer, more contest that time.
Just have to keep buying. This is looking rough, and unfortunately, Inferno, I thought this would be the very best map of tonight. Both these seem so good, especially on the CT side as well, but FaZe in the pistol. Pretty much towards all potential. And now they need 12 rounds in a row just to get us to overtime. Very, very unlikely, but stranger things have happened. Scouts, UMPs, a Deagle. Alu with the scout once again, gets a tag off, but through the walls, takes Kenny down to 67 HP. Goes to the bridge this time, another tag coming in, Apex low. This could actually work out for FaZe somehow.
Somehow. Body waiting to look over to the left side. It's going to clear out. Slow process. Fires the bike. Pre-fires. I don't know if he saw him or that was a straight pre-fire because everyone knows the angle. It was very accurate. So was that from Alu. As the scout takes the head clean off and he gets another shot on Apex. Not quite a headshot, but 5 staying alive. FaZe finally get around.
Yeah. Alu getting so many tags to start around.
It's their first
3 in total.
14 rounds? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, so much money available for G2. You can see 8K for Apex. Shoxy not far behind that as well, but 2 players actually struggling. They might, I was going to say, it might not be worth buying this one as a partial buy. That's exactly what they've done. So just an AK. Oh, okay, no, all in. They might have wanted to take a pause there. This could be a bit of a fumble. I'm not so sure. So they get a scout, an AWP, UMP, AKs, and a CZ. Bit of a mishmash buy, but if anyone was going to open up the round, it'd be Kenny S in the form he's in right now.
Carrying him with smokes in front. Kenny. Try and make his way back up in position toward Banana as they get their work done. They find one, traded back. Kenny's still going to anchor down the position. He's actually going to get his way into the tree instead, which when Nico gets toward Carr could be a problem. Smoke dissipates. Kenny's not quite ready yet with the AWP, but he's there for when the time comes, and they're going to think otherwise and head back over toward mid instead. They'll never see each other on the opposite side of the smoke. And a 3-man setup toward A as MBK goes back in.
Well, for now, 4-4, and Kenny S takes a bit of damage there as well. FaZe trying to hold on for this first map at Apex, gets a kill. That's Alu going down. It's going to be a pin set on towards the A side. Kiyoshima now with Rain, trying to hold off, but it looks like this one might be done. It's Rain now who has to go absolutely wild. He finds 2 frags, and that could be enough. Nico now, one of the world's best. 15 seconds remaining up against 2 low HP players from G2.
Nico trying to find Apex. Good shot. But Kenny gets him back on an immediate trade. So 7 seconds. Nico does deny the plant, but they still manage the kill and therefore take the game.
Yeah, difficult to get excited about that one on paper. This is the hot match of the week, Matt. We thought this would be an amazing map and to go the full distance, maybe even overtime. But after getting 3-1 up, FaZe just got overwhelmed in the gun runs there. Similar performance as what we saw last night. They just couldn't really arrive and Kenny S, what a match that was from him. Shoxy as well, once that double orb combo came out, was just so overwhelming, stifling the T's, and it seemed like they had no idea how to shut it down, and GT run away with it. Both pistols going in their favor. FaZe managed to get the force by working in the second round, but after that, that was pretty much all they had in the tank.
Well, it's a long night of matches, but it might be quick on this one. It's going to go back over to the analyst desk. Between it, we've got things started off. I can't imagine any other game is done yet, guys.
You would think not, Matthew, but it does seem like some are getting close. But obviously, Shock's making quick work of FaZe there. Just in case you're not having 10 monitors and watching every single match, or not some of the scores we have going so far. Obviously, G2 beats FaZe 16-4. We just saw that. North is looking to beat Virtus.pro by a similar scoreline. It's currently 15-4 at the moment in favor of North. Fnatic up 11-8 over Mouse Sports. Hellraisers 13-8 over NIP. And Astralis 11-7 over Envy. And LDLC is beating England as well.
The standout one there is VP losing the map to North means that VP will have to play off in relegation next week.
Yeah.
Against the likes of Big and Penta.
And we were wondering yesterday, because we did see over in ECS, Fnatic putting up a good, or I mean, Virtus.pro putting up a good fight against
Fnatic. Yes.
Yeah, so we were saying, okay, maybe they're getting back into the swing of things. Maybe the the E-League announcement might have been so exciting that they've been getting back into it. Not looking the case here. That's tough. So.
Unfortunately, not for them. No, and I think a couple of the other big ones is the Hellraisers NIP game that's going on right now. Hellraisers are currently in the lead, but NIP are coming back. If either of those two 2-0 in this matchup, they could be in the chance to be in that bottom 3 situation with VP, because LDLC have a good chance right now of beating Kingwin. If they do that, they're going to push themselves up potentially out of relegation.
Do we? Well, here's what we're gonna do. We're we're not.
Do we want to do a bit of post match?
Yeah, we can do.
But just real quick.
Would you like to mention something?
So the first 6 rounds of the game were entertaining, and then Shox just went Super Saiyan Jin 4 or Super Saiyan God. Which one is it? Anyway, he just went ham. 30 frags, 9 deaths, got everything done. We even saw Kenny with that all pace in mid. It's pretty nice, pushing through the smokes. Chasing down the last one.
Well, here's some cool things.
I like cool things.
We're actually going to go, we're going to head over to Lauren and Mitch, I believe, and check out the end of VP North.
Lovely.
That's going to be lovely.
Against G2. That was 16-4 over on Inferno. So, yeah, a bit of a one-sided affair on that one. And as we speak, MSL looking for opportunities over by B. Flash comes out, well played. And the point by Snacks, not overly fast. Good position as well coming through for Taz, just over by Nubox. Does get traded though, but the response comes back. So again, even though North are doing a little bit of damage here and there, it's being kept in check.
And they're spending a bit of money on these rounds. Eventually, if it goes at this rate, the round loss bonus is going to be sufficient for them to work back in with something a little bit more. They were hoping just to try and steal it away from VP there.
So even though this does look like a little bit of a comeback, we might have to start looking towards that other game just to keep it in check. You'll imagine the North will grind that out unless something miraculous happens, but we've got to see the other side of the coin. What happens if LDLC win this? How much further ahead do they get? And at the moment, they are leading on this one. Not by as big of a margin as they were, but Twanu there going to close out that round for LDLC. The French and a little bit of a mixed side, I guess. But yeah, closing that one out is very important to them. And we look at the Kingwin as well. We've been seeing some questionable performances from Hyper. New addition to this Polish side. He came in towards it, and we haven't seen him step up to the plate yet on this stream.
Yeah, I mean, Furlan being removed from this team, obviously mid-season caused a few issues for Kingwin. There's a lot to be sorted out, and these guys need to be thinking ahead because regardless of the result here, they are going to be automatically relegated back to the Mountain Dew League. And that'll be another season before we see their return to the ESL Pro League. And that's just the way it is. They were, I guess, not found to be worthy ultimately. It's the way it goes. But now LDLC on this T side here, Existence, ballsy play from him, and he actually gets the 1-for-1. He cleanly faces on this B side and starts to whittle things down. A good follow-up by Mistu now means that Mishu's very much on his own for the moment here. He needs to give an account of himself.
Not in that time. Maniac's got his number, but not checked into that one. A little, I guess, checked out more than anything. Bomb's still in spawn, though, but Alex and Twanu going to have to go for quite some walkabouts. This is interesting positioning.
It's possible that Maniac overestimated the speed of LDLC's play on that B side and didn't expect there to be a rotator present already. The bomb has been left so far back here, though, and LDLC had plenty of options here. It was just contact on that B side, just take the fights. And now they have a few options, but this is awkward here. Bomb being carried back in here. This is the challenge that I was talking about. Rallen actually manages to cut Twanu off at the pass, and he had the bomb. That's dropped, and Alex now has to go back and salvage this situation. And then the call's going to go out to Sparrow to get up towards his park and give the advantage. But quickly, Alex is able to find and deal with Rallen. And Sparrow's going to fall back and probably try and put him in a position where he can have access to those 2 sites as easy as possible. But Alex, where does he go? Looks like Sparrow's going to make the correct call here in setting himself up towards Bank. Alex has no idea where this could come from. That could ultimately on its own prove to be fatal. There it is. Sparrow's going to make his way around from Bank, I believe it was. Yeah, straight through Optimus. Finds Alex and keeps Kingwin in the game.
And a quick update from that Na'Vi game that we started on between them and Heroic. Right now, it's 11-10. Heroic trailing by 1 round, but they have the money in their side. They're on the T side now on Overpass, so somewhat similar, I guess, to this, not too far away from the scoreline. But a bit of a shoddy, well, not shoddy buy. I look at the UMPs and I still think they're, a normal SMG. They're not. They're essentially a rifle in disguise. So, again, don't write them out. They've got full utility set behind it as well. But this is a good map for Kingwin overall. This is one of the ones they had that very quirky strategy on. We didn't really see it coming through in there as of late games, but yeah, it looks like this will be 11-11 over in that Heroic Na'Vi game too, as right now Heroic have 5 players alive against only 2 for Na'Vi, but in this one you can see LDLC taking that long control.
Alex has already made his way into the toilet block here, and for Sparrow, he may not hang around for too long here. It depends how much he's pressured. This is relatively aggressive now for 40 seconds into the round, but he hasn't seen anything to indicate that he needs to be playing more discreetly. Smoke's now down for him. And Maniac opts to head in towards Connect. So LDLC yet to coalesce. They're yet to decide on exactly where they're going to hit the bomb. Once again in this round being left back, and they want to give themselves as many options as possible. Alex might be mildly frustrated by how he threw that smoke. It's hard to say. A little bit of a weird movement there. But again, LDLC want to play a pick game here. And then try and find the right side to pressure, but they're running out of time.
Yeah, they are. Quick updates as well. The closed-out games on the first map. North won against Virtus Pro. That was 16-6 on Inferno. The other Inferno game as well, as highlighted today, was that G2 game over against FaZe, which was a 16-4. Right now, 12-9, 4v4. Rallen falling away towards Bank. Flash goes over. Pressure comes in. Molly towards Optimus as well. That's a nice little touch there. Forced him out of that position. LDLC starting to push their way up, but Mal's already with that UMP to hand, finds Alex. That's not gone too well, and Rallen waits for his moment to pounce as Twanu's going to find one, and Rallen doesn't mess up the shot, but the trade is almost inevitable at this point, isn't it? Bomb's going to be looking to go down 10.
Well,
Twanu, what are you up to? Right out in the open, hoping for the best, and the spray doesn't come through. Miu is there. Miu doesn't let off on the steam.
Sometimes if you put too much faith in that smoke to be there, and then it tends to dissipate, you find yourself in a bit of an awkward position, but let's keep moving there. So that's obviously 12-10 in favour of LDLC. Now back to this one, NIP. It's been a big comeback for them, Lauren, considering how much they were struggling here. And Get Right with the old favourite. Yes, thanks for pointing that out, Pat. He was a big proponent of the P90 back in his time.
Pat loves the P90. She has actually tattoos on her arm of not just the CT and T logo. She has a P90 across her forehead.
So all we need,
huge fan.
All we need now
Huge
is like a replica tattoo of Get Right's moustache that he had for November.
That was gorgeous, wasn't it?
That was great.
Or
I mean,
peach.
you don't have to have that on your face, Pat. You can, put it on your wrist or something. That's fine. I wouldn't want to inflict that on you.
Anyway, yeah, this is a really good turnaround from NIP, considering the scoreline they had on the half. Yeah, this is actually very, very impressive. They pulled it back to this far, considering how diligent Hellraisers can be. But then again, FaZe brought back quite a close scoreline when they were playing here, when this came down. But at the moment, we're going to see a breakthrough, and there it is, the P90 and the mollies. That's what we're seeing. Go on, Get Right again. Do it again. Get the P90 out. Oh, it didn't work. That's a shame. The CZ took him down.
Regardless, for NIP, this is a pivotal round. It's where they start to bring things back, and Hellraisers weren't able to do too much about it. It is actually quite devastating if you get caught in a molly, if you jump into one or whatever, and then some bloke on the other side of the smoke who's spraying through, because obviously it affects your movement speed so much that you can often just fall to it in general. That's why the old grenade molly combo was pretty nasty for that exact reason. Even if you're not taking full damage from it, it can still hamper you. But Hellraisers buy back into this round. They've got everything they need and set Fox back on that AWP. And Get Right is, I love that wallbang. Who was it? Guardian. We saw pull that one out.
Guardian did it, and that just kind of like blew our minds. I reckon they're going to find Zero. That's a nice little shout there. Good bit of aggression coming through from him. Get Right's actually got a nice P90. That's what upsets me even more. Good stuff. Angel having none of it. And now 4v4. And I remember talking to Get Right about this during that Dubai event we did. And they actually believe wholeheartedly in it, but right now, Dead Fox going to remind him, not a good plan here. Freiburg falls as well.
It's a big investment for an SMG, Lauren. That's the reality of it. When you can get a UMP, I don't know. Bomb down exists now. It still wants to challenge this one out. Clearly, there's enough money in the bank of NIP to warrant it.
I just really like the way there's one really triggered fan in chat just going off about we're not showing the LDLC game. Shout out to you, bud. Keep it up.
Stay mad.
This is looking a little bit more exciting now that actually Hellraisers look like they've remembered how to play this T side. So maybe we're going to put NIP on notice bonding.
Don't.
Didn't do the dirty.
I was going to say, don't config it.
Nah, just went for the execution instead.
Well, this is starting to get very interesting now. Hellraisers bring that round back. This is so reminiscent of last night. Hellraisers give all these rounds back when they go onto the T side, and then they manage to, just as things are getting dicey, just as we're even looking at overtime territory, they actually close the game out against FaZe. Speaking of which, FaZe have had a shocking couple nights then if this G2 trend continues into the second map.
And Nico bottom fragged.
Again.
Didn't even go positive.
He did that last night.
Yeah, it's a weird thing. See, maybe just, a little tired, but someone who's not tired is Dead Fox goes walking out. Bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, not any longer. Just, oh God, make it stop. Can we go to another stream? Guys, I don't want to see the P90 anymore. I don't want to see it.
I think Pat's really enjoying this, personally.
It's the grin that gives it away, isn't it?
Okay, well, that's worked out. Forget right, at least you can see that he's sitting on a bit of money here in this particular round now, as is the rest of NIP, which is a very, very good sign. This is dicey for Hellraisers. If Hellraisers lose that round, they're going to be in trouble. But now we're going to head across to Fnatic versus Mousesports. And the Swedes look in pole position as Mousesports are forced to go for 2 Tech-9s and a Galil.
Hola. On this one, Mouse, just straight in. We're just bouncing through. Swedish fans around the world be like. Double orbs, we like them. We know the Fnatic do as well. These boys bank on them, if anything. We know it on their CT side.
Yeah. Okay. Fnatic now on that map point there as well. And we did have Auto Director for a moment there. As
shout out to you, Auto Director, keeping it real for years, missing those frags and sticking on dead bodies. We love you. It's better than Gero with a P90 at least. So thank you, production, for being just a little spicy on that switch there. I liked it.
And the thing is for Pat, I think she's just realising this. She's probably going to have to switch back in just a moment. Yeah, that's now occurred to her.
That's a happy face. Oh, that was almost a shot through the wall. Flusher. Smoking towards main. Spots one towards Squeaky. And it looks like he's just feeling the game. That little smoothness to it, just taking fights out.
I really want to see more of this. I really want to see more of Fnatic in general, actually. I mean, I don't think I was really in love with their streak of dominance. I think they deserved it, but maybe, too many events one in a row for my liking. But I want to see them get back there. I think it's healthy for the game, and I think the game has changed since then. And a win against a top 2 team here in the Pro League right towards the end is a very good thing.
Certainly is, and this looks like it could be all she wrote here. Lol, Robs and Chris J to try and hold this one on, but they don't have the bomb down yet either. That's en route, but still a little way off, and JW comes alive on Cash. Nothing new there, and Crim's locking down a bomb site. Again, something similar, and there it is. There's the 16 rounds beside Fnatic. That's them winning over Mousesports on Cash. Quick updates from the rest of the games while we sort out the next one for you guys. Overpass right now between LDLC and Kingwin is 12-13, favorable to the French-ish. Astralis against Envious. Now, that's an interesting one. That's still ongoing. It's still a little bit closer here. Envious currently taking the lead, 13-12, after it was a bit of a bottom powdering there, Mitch, initially. Now, Train between Hellraisers and IP, 14-13, and then Overpass between... Well, Na'Vi and Heroic is 8-7, so that's still in the half.
We've got a couple close games. We can't watch them all, but that was beautiful from Draken. He waited Sticko out. He gave it a tickle. He had the kit. What a great way to come back into this. And NIP make it 14 apiece. I'm glad we just caught that one. Beautiful stuff. And you can see what NIP have been able to do. Build up such a big bank. Pressure Hellraisers. And just before we switched, I said when it was 14-13, I said, if Hellraisers invest in this round and they lose it, they're in deep trouble. And you can see now why. They could force, but they're not going to. They're actually going to be forced to play for overtime. They get a couple pistols in here, but that's it.
And a reminder as to what this means, it's staying out of relegation or pushing yourself ahead. Give yourself a chance to stay away from that bottom 3. So these two are currently still tied on the same points. 10 wins, 14 losses, right down the middle. So these guys, they want that little step ahead. They might not be able to qualify, no. That would depend on a lot of other teams messing up. But they get a chance to just skim away from the LDLC Virtus Pro Kingwin mess. They want to avoid all that sort of noise. So this round, pretty imperative, and look at Hellraiser's money. It's completely trashed. And you know what I want to do is just never watch the Kingwin game just to upset you guys in chat. That's what happens. There you go. Blame yourself.
Well, I mean, look, to be fair, for Polish fans, it's probably a little bit of a more grim time. I'd be concerned as well, because you're potentially seeing both of your teams bowing out of the Pro League.
Maybe a nice person. Mitch, come on now.
Well, I mean, there are many ways. I could spin that nicely and not nicely, but the point is I can relate to the interest in seeing it. We'll try and, look, we're doing our best to keep you guys up with as many games as we possibly can, but Kingwin is already automatically relegated, and because that doesn't have a bearing on the standings, really, in terms of Kingwin themselves, that's why we're not seeing it right now. This is an important time to be checking with this game, NIP and Hellraisers at 14-14. You can see the Hellraisers are going to that magical, probably 40 seconds, or something else. It's a magic timing that they only know, and they're going to set up for some sort of execute.
Oh, it's got to be now. Look at the time. Got 30 seconds left. Better get there. Better get running. Try and get that bomb plant in. Forest reading it well. Good utility being used. Oh, Freiburg! It wasn't all just a bit of free. It wasn't just the banana. It's a barbecue as well. And Forest just sprays into it. The bomb does come through, Valrays, and that's what you really wanted out of this one. And just for you guys in chat, because this one's going to be swept up, it's LDLC leading 14-11 as we speak. Kingwin were just on eco. They're now on the bye. So again, this is a big round between Kingwin and LDLC. I'll keep you guys up to date as how it pans out.
Yeah, we'll probably duck back over to that one in just a second here. Angel, though, this could be a little bit of a... he's sound the molly. There could have been a chance there, but now he's taken so much extra damage. He needs to go in and stop the defuse. No, he's not going to be able to. He just shuts him down. There was a chance. A chance there for Angel, but the timing was just not on his side. Let's jump over to Kingwood versus LDLC.
So Mihu and Suspero both got opening picks this round. It was very, very quick and quite early in the round as well, as you can see. Maybe a boost came through on that one. Now, LDLC having to operate with 3 is going to be quite tricky, but the money is on a real knife's edge here for Kingwood. I said before, the round prior to this, they were on very low money. So this investment is the best they could come up with. So they're going to have to bank on getting this round, otherwise the reset comes in. And a very late smoke comes out as well. That's one down towards Monster. That was set off to place by one of the A players. Now, you can see that already kind of hindered Maniac's approaches down to Mistu and Swanu.
Again, LDLC. This is, you can't afford to lose this game because with teams like NIP and Hellraisers being so competitive, you could be forced to play in relegations next week, of course. Misty going to make his way forward, though, as well. At some point, he had to stand and deliver. Twanu might be able to make something of this, though. The spray down was not sufficient. And those last 2 players of LDLC weren't able to put up enough of a fight, and some weird money on the side of LDLC here, I'll be honest.
And what this means in the grand scheme as well is basically they're playing... So Godsend are the automatic team coming up. They're the ones who take the place of the bottom team. Now, outside of that, it'll be
Big
Penta and Big. So almost 2 German sides with the opportunity of breaking into this one. So that's an interesting one.
It could be crazy. It could be Polish teams out and German teams in.
Yeah, it could be. So yeah, very, very scary times. Now, into this round, 14-12. Kingwin keeping together the very necessary round that they had to win.
LDLC really want to close this one out, but again, if they make any mistakes or get too reckless, they could be staring down the barrel of an overtime here before they know it. No, Misty seems to disagree with me. Well, mate, just win. That's all you have to do. And you can laugh all your way to the bank for all I care. Speaking of bank, Sparrow's heading back in that direction now, over past Optimus here, and it seems like something's given a bit of a hint about LDLC's positioning around this B site here. It's just the 2 players, though. So they've drawn 3 to this site. Even Sparrow's playing very close up here, so this A hit might be quite successful for LDLC. They've got a good advantage. They've got the opening here straight towards Sparrow. He had no chance. Not even Optimus could have saved him if he could have transformed into something. A shield probably would have done the job. But Hyper has found Maniac. It's a man advantage for LDLC, and the bomb's down. That's a lovely little play on A.
Certainly is. Alex going to get the upgrade to the AWP. Not known for his AWPing, but he can drop that on to Twanu if they need it. And yeah, Kingwin know their money is on the ropes. They need to back away from this and keep as many guns up as they can going forward. So again, something very, very important for these guys. Now, again, this would basically solidify Virtus Pro being in that 13th position. It'd mean that basically the next maps will, 100% confirm it. But VP in 13th, and that's mostly due to the fact, one, they didn't win against North, so they stay there. LDLC, they'll push themselves up. They're currently in 12th, so they're ahead of Virtus Pro. This means for them, they'll be on 10 to 15, which means they now leave VP a little bit further down.
We're going to switch over really quickly because Envious is on match point up against Astralis on the map of Train. This, I don't know. We've missed it, but this is just the way things go here. It's been an insane night. Envious, and it looks like they're going to be able to do it here. Happy finds Glaive to start things off, and Astralis are already mid-step trying to execute over on this A side. I call it an execute. That's just all they've got. Massive
for Envy as well. They're in 8th position, 12-12. If they win this and then one following, they're in a position to possibly get to those offline finals. What a crazy turn of events that would be. But Kiebi now going to try and keep things together, but it's not looking likely. 47 seconds, a 1v3, almost no HP, 18 to be precise. He's got it all, but not got the bomb. That's something he's severely lacking, and what he's lacking now is opportunities.
This would definitely be an upset. I think that's a safe answer. This was supposed to be the team that came up worse in the trade, but Cowboys managed to make it competitive in this round. It's 1 versus 2. He's got 2 HP. You've seen him win these, but it's not going to be easy. The bomb is away from him. Envious can turtle up and play it safe. Cowboy needs to get to it, and he has no choice but to try and go for this. Even if he falls off the top of the Train, by the way, he'd be done. But that's going to be it. Envious take the first map against Astralis. What a performance on Train. Stunning stuff from the French side.
Yeah, that is mad. So just a quick update from that Kingwin game. Kingwin stayed alive. They kept themselves alive in this one. 13-15 as we speak. So LDLC still a match point. But Kingwin gave themselves a little bit of leverage. They are fighting this one out tooth and nail. They don't want to let this one drop, but it doesn't really matter for Kingwin, but I guess they could be fighting for their Polish brethren here as well to give them a shot.
And LDLC buy into this round knowing that Kingwin don't have a fully solidified economy yet as well. I mean, they had to definitely split their pennies, the Polish side at least, to try and get something going, but they can stay alive in this one. LDLC need to keep their wits about them here if they want to close the match out, and Maniac's going to be the player forced to play with very little.
Yeah, Maniac only on that P250, bit of a shame, but you can kind of play that. It'll just have to kind of be the support system for a player, maybe be the tradable factor. Doesn't even have utility either, and they have such limited amounts on LDLC. I don't know what they intend to do. I guess they have like one big shot at making a hit happen.
In the previous round we saw from LDLC, just before we switched over, they didn't actually have a lot in that round either, but they made a very well-calculated push towards this A site, managed to overwhelm, because Kingwin had early rotated, I think, a third player towards B. They managed to take advantage of that. They've got a minute left, and to get all that information and then make that informed decision is never easy. There's 2 mollies, a flash and a smoke for LDLC across the whole team. That's it.
But flash comes in, and it is good. Alex gonna find Mouse, and now the push begins. Maniac goes down, not too surprising to be fair. Misu overwhelmed. Mihu did manage to find Maniac, so now the bomb site's pretty much under control here. Bomb's gonna go down, and this could be it. This could be all she wrote. Kingwin bow out of this one, no surprises there. But this puts down Virtus.pro in a really dangerous position as well.
Yeah, not good. I mean, they were already in a dangerous one, and it would be tough to drag themselves out, especially getting shellacked by North in that previous game. But this is beautiful. I do love like a B-side contact play on this map from a T side here.
Updates from elsewhere as well. Heroic just beat Na'Vi 16-14 too, and there it is. LDLC win out. Na'Vi losing to Heroic, throw everything up in the air. Those standings are going to be insane right now. I think almost every game's over. We're going to, I guess, catch almost nothing. So on mine, apparently it's already been done. So sorry, boys, spoilers, but I guess 2 UMPs and a CZ, it's not too surprising.
Yeah, I mean, that was probably the live result. This is Go TV, so this is a little bit delayed. And yeah, it looks to be the case. You can see Yugi there as well, who had a bit of a slower start. We actually haven't checked in with this game for a little while. But Siggy's being put in a position where he needs to try and make the big play to give it to Na'Vi here as well. And I'm surprised it's Snappy to finish things off there. And what an interesting little fly around the grounds, Lauren. I think CSGO casting's a little bit more interesting when you get to jump between games. It's also interesting watching our reserve run back and forth between PCs.
Look, so for now, shout out to production, Pat, and you guys in chat for chilling with us. And everyone else basically involved right now to keep this one going. I know it's manic, but thank you for kind of chilling with us so far. So should we do a bit of a kind of, I guess, recap of what we've seen so far to a degree? So I guess some of the more, I don't know, there's been some really weird results so far. I think the FaZe one is going to be turning a lot of heads there. It started off with FaZe and G2. G2 winning that one over on Inferno at a 16-4 result. That was the one that kind of was first to close, I guess. The most one-sided scoreline was the one that was on the main stream. So that's, you know, Henry and Matt having a nice chill time. They get away scot-free. Now outside of that, North did manage to take down Virtus.pro 16-4. That was over on Inferno as well. Probably the next most one-sided matchup. Very, very, I guess, devastating for Virtus.pro. That means they are now looking like they are in that second spot to be relegated or, you know, fight for relegation. That means they have to face off against Penta or Big. And Penta aren't that German, I do forget. Then after this one, I was just like, wait, there's like 1 German left, I think. But yeah, there's a lot of results coming in. I think we might be able to find out from the desk, the main desk itself, as to how it's going down. Bro's this.
Oh, you fixed it.
I fixed my
yeah. They just covered 90% of it.
Yeah,
but,
we wanted to do some work.
Thank you, Lauren and Mitch, for doing that for us. Should we say what all this means?
Well, they didn't go over all the scores, so I'm just going to run down them one more time. So G2 obviously beat FaZe. I didn't mention that one. 16-4. Okay. North beat VP 16-6. Fnatic beat Mouse 16-10, which is big. Nip versus Hellraisers, or over Hellraisers 16-14. Envy over Astral 16-13. Heroic over Na'Vi 16-14. LDLC over Kingwin. And here are the updated standings. So with that win, G2 is in.
Yeah, so they should be on 15. Obviously, it's going to take a while to get those things updated properly, but they should be on 15 wins at this point. So
they were at one point in last place in the league, about 3 or 4. Was it 4 or 5 weeks into the season?
That's insane, right?
That's not bad.
So I think that means that now if FaZe beat G2, that they should also be qualified. Don't quote me on that. And then we have a bit of a problem with Astralis losing that up to Envy. They've given a lifeline to Envy here to potentially pull on into that 6th position, I believe it is, and Heroic beating Na'Vi. So the two teams who I didn't think had any business coming into this top 6 have a real shot right now.
Yeah, I mean, let's focus on a couple of the big ones. Obviously, I think Fnatic Mousesports is huge for Fnatic, obviously.
Yeah, for Fnatic indeed,
That's going to be really nice that they're able to do that. What other one? Envy over Astralis, like you said, just opened the door.
Yep.
Heroic and Na'Vi, that hurts Na'Vi quite a bit. That Na'Vi versus Fnatic was like the big question mark we had between those two teams.
So this is where we get into like the really weird kind of positions. Can we bring up those standings again?
Because well, here's the tough part about it. Since there's so many different outcomes that there's no possible way that we can have all of them listed down.
You don't want me to go through every single one.
But you have to make like assumptions, right, of what's like the safe match to build your arguments off of. And I think if you're doing that, Astralis beating Envy on Train or tonight over 1 or 2 maps would have been the assumption you'd make to start building something around, right? So this is kind of the win that throws everything up, because now Envy's still alive. Now Na'Vi is a big question mark as well. Heroic has a possibility. Fnatic's still a question mark. So nothing has been solved, except for G2. They're happy.
And G2 are in.
Yeah, G2
and now
are in.
FaZe have to win Cage.
Yeah.
Versus G2.
Do they have to? If they don't win either map and the other teams
14.
lose, could they make it?
I think they could, because like there could be a lot of teams who are also on 13 or 14.
So I'm assuming this is going to come out tiebreakers at the end of the night. That's
Yeah,
going to be quite fun.
What happens is, for those playing at home, it becomes like a mini league between the teams who are tied.
Yeah.
And then it goes head-to-head, and if the head-to-head can't be broken, it goes to round difference.
Yeah, that works.
I think that's right.
It's the phrasing of the mini league. So these look updated.
Okay, yeah. So G2 definitely are on 15 wins. Astralis lost that game, so yeah, they
14-11.
extra loss. So FaZe and Astralis now have a chance to redeem themselves and get 15 wins, which would mean that Envious would only finish on 13 wins, Heroic would only finish on 12 wins.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that means...
the big thing is, I mean, look at that 3-way tie now for 4, 5, and 6.
So Na'Vi have to hope that Fnatic don't win the second map to give them any chance of getting into the top 6.
They have to win their second map.
Oh.
As well.
Boy.
Spicy, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, listen, here's what we're going to do, Chad. We're going to go to a quick break. We're going to digest what we're seeing on the screen right now. We're going to figure it out. We're going to come up with some cool points for when we return.
Can we have a Kit Kat?
Yeah, we will.
Sweet.
Yeah, so stay tuned. We'll be right back, and we'll start sifting through all that for you.